My blessed people, thank you and welcome back, my wonderful people all over the world. The Imo Labour Party senatorial candidate vows to back Peter Obi. Well, he has no option as Chief Charles Ugochukwu Ahezie, the flag bearer of the Labour Party for the Imo West senatorial race, has expressed joy for the massive support being accorded the party's presidential candidate Peter Obi by a large majority of the people in the state of Imo. Speaking in his Umonezechi Ihoma residence in Olu local government area, Ahezie pointed that Obi represents the hope of the common man, and hence Imolites are enthusiastic to supporting his aspiration to succeed President Muhammadu Buhari. Meanwhile, according to him, I am surprised saying with what I am saying in Imo State today. And he said, I must say that I am not surprised by the turnout and the huge support Peter Obi and the Labour Party are enjoying in Imo State at the moment. Imolites, meanwhile, are very progressive, and we have always identified with whoever and whatever is in the best interest of the common man. On this note, the Imo West is senatorial candidate and have vowed to gather and mobilize more people in the state and beyond to ensure that the Labour Party records an overwhelming and ever emergence in the forthcoming general elections. In his words, as he read in bait, we are working to ensure that Peter Obi does not so only emerge victorious, but that the Labour parties win 90% of the votes to be cast in the entire Olu. According to what he said, already there is no other political party in Olu, and when the campaign finally and formally ticked off, you shall see an unprecedented collection of progressive from across the parties and the persecutions alleging with the Labour Party. On this note, a lot of people have really said their mind. Meanwhile, based on this, my wonderful people, Peter Obi has said as Labour Party supporters sponsoring rallies that it shows citizens are ready for good governance. Well, Peter Obi, a chieftain of the Labour Party, says the party's rally have been sponsored by its supporters. Otomi spoke on Monday during an interview with a Channels television. Recently, supporters of Peter Obi, popularly known as Obedient, have organized series of rallies all over the state in part of the country to show support for the candidacy of Peter Obi. Of course, the party's presidential candidate, and the Obidiati has running mates. On this note, speaking about the rallies, Otumi said the Nigerians are tasking themselves to organize rallies. These people, you see, who have what they call the structure. How does the structure run? Structure comes from stealing public money and using it to fuel the system of people who are supposed to be loyalists and thugs. Well, have you wondered that the Obidiati movement has already spent 1 kobo of its own money? Young people are tasking themselves to organize these rallies you see all over the state. Does it not surprise you? Is that not so new and disrupting to public life in Nigeria? Is it not good for Nigeria? We talked about citizenship for a very long time, and suddenly Nigerians have stopped and have become citizens, and we are wondering where this came from. You know, the Labour Party, how much of a war chest do you think that they have to be organizing rallies of this structure or this nature in Nigeria? It is Nigerian people saying they are fed up, they are tired, and they are not no longer okay with the system of government. We want something different, the government that cares. We want a citizen and a government for the people, by the people, of the people. What does that mean? We don't want a government of politicians, for politicians, by politicians, which we tend to have in politics in Nigeria, and it is not so sustainable. God bless you, Sam, Mr. Fanny. And I watched you yesterday on Channel Television. Keep on speaking for the youth and the poor masses, for we have suffered a lot in this country. Exactly, my wonderful people. Well, let me have your take. The truth is, a lot of people, as Philippine have said, who are the citizens, tribal citizens or geographical citizens? Wonderful. Well, the truth is, youths have really come up in mass in different locations, different states, and different local government and different states in Nigeria to pushing for Peter Obi. And this rally you see around are being sponsored by individual, by youth, and by people who have it as a burden in their heart to supporting Peter Obi. Autonomy on Monday has spoken well, and a lot of people have reacted to this. Meanwhile, my wonderful people, as we have been pushing and a lot of question has been asking, a lot of questions that needed answers in this regard, because as it stands now, if Peter Obi peradventure wins this presidency come 2023, will Biafra agitation end? If Peter Obi win election, will Biafra agitation end if Peter Obi wins 2023 election? Well, I believe the agitation for Biafra will not end even if Peter Obi wins the presidential election. His victory would create room for even a stronger agitation, as we would have our own brother in the front line of the agitation, unless, meanwhile, those leading the agitation would soft to paddle based on the fact that for once we have vested and tested the presidential seat with Peter Obi winning the election. Well, the truth is, if Peter Obi win the 2023 election, his leadership style may not favor the Hausa and the Yorubas. This will lead to agitation for their own Oduduwa and Arewa state, as the case may be, thereby leading to a strong agitation for the actualization of the sovereign state of Biafra in the southeast. So unless there is no such thing, then there would be no further agitation, and if there is, then the country will definitely move towards division, and the Biafra agitation will be among them. My wonderful people, to me and to every other thing, as long as this news is concerned, Biafra agitation is an idea if Peter Obi happens to win the election, as we are all making moves, as youths are pushing for him. It will calm down the agitation, but that will not end the agitation. Meanwhile, it will make the youth not to be violent or disobedient. But as time goes by, I don't think that the idea of Biafra will ever end. I think so, because many Igbo people have sacrificed their lives in the cause of this agitation. This means that Igbos need a republic called Biafra, a republic called Biafra Igbos need. And you remember what happened during Goodluck Ebele Jonathan's regime. Of course, it happened just of recent. It is very fresh in our memory. The agitation was not much because Jonathan happened to come from the eastern states, from eastern Nigeria, but immediately Jonathan left office, the agitation continued, and as I am seeing it, the same thing will definitely play out if Peter Obi wins the election. So the agitation will drop, but Peter Obi leaves office, it will continue. Okay, Ifeanyi Chukwuma Emmanuel, Anambra State, have really said that the agitation will not end if Peter Obi wins the election come 2023, but it will definitely make Igbos have a sense of belongings. The agitation is something in the mind of the people. It is an ideology. So Peter Obi's victory will not end it. But if Mr. Peter Obi wins well and govern well, I think the agitation will definitely be temporarily forgotten. It will not be wiped away from the minds of the people. Meanwhile, that has been onto this matter. Don't think that the presidency of Peter Obi will end Biafra agitation, because the agitation on ground is beyond the Igbo presidency of Peter Obi. So I think we actually need to look inward. People have been clamoring for restructuring. When you look at the structure of Nigeria, for example, we have what we call 5 states in the southeast. Meanwhile, the others regards or other regions are actually having 6, even 7 and above. So for me, I think unless Peter Obi comes in and actually adjusts the system, like in the southeast, where so many things need to be done in terms of structure, state creation, and resources control. So I think those things can actually bring down the agitation, but cannot end it. Seriously, it will not. No, it will not end it. I think so, because considering the situation in this country, the Igbos are seriously marginalized, and the agitation of Biafra proceed Peter Obi's presidential bid. It doesn't, and it don't just start yesterday. It has been a long time matter, and this is an ideology you cannot erase easily. My wonderful people, well, that has been my take on this matter, as we all know the truth and we will continue to push for the truth. Well, let me have your take right at the comment section, and left you for a ton of notification. And remember to subscribe if you are joining us for the very first time. Thanks and God bless.